So we only have got a Hajj by that time. But I hope the next year we'll have more people from Zanzibar. We need also to include most people from Zanzibar to, from this YOCAP. Lastly, one of the board member to have a few words with you. I hope you're going to inspire them for your few words. Karibu.
Thank you, Doctor. Good morning. First of all, I will say thank you so much, because I had seen how Dr. Chilo and team made this Tanzania Health Summit possible. I am associated with him right from 2014 or 2013, where we used to meet regularly, and how this shaped Dr. Chilo, Dr. Chakku, and everyone who made it possible. The only thing what I like to highlight is the summit is mainly for the youth. The most of the beneficiaries, most of the people who benefited are the youth. On different form, not only on the scholarship, even in those days when we started marathon, we can see a consistent growth. Now, as Dr. Chilo mentioned, there is more to come in the next year, in the future years. There is more to come. On the same scholarship, what we have, the Jacob, there may be a new dimension. The new dimension may be anything possible. Like we may tie up with a few institutions to offer scholarship. So there is a lot of possibility, and there is a lot of opportunity for exchange, which we are trying to shape. I am from St. Joseph University, and we do a lot. So the inspiration of working with youth, I will say, like, I get from different youth like him. You can see him, even Dr. Chilo looks like a boy only. Right? So that youthfulness is driving. I wish this summit, this meeting, all the best. Definitely you are going to grow, and every one of us will grow together. Keep in mind, by growing, we are supposed to make our country grow. We are supposed to return it back to our parents, our communities, and our country. And of course, our family. All the best for the function. Thank you.
A big round hand of applause to the board of directors. That's not enough. Oh my God. Vigelegele na makofi tumeviacha wapi? Wadada. Okay, we'll do this. Wadada, give me the vigelegelas. Wakaka, the miruzis. And together, miruzi plus the clubs plus vigelegele. Thank you so much, the President of Tanzania Health Summit and our Board of Directors. We really appreciate taking your time and come to see what youth we are doing, and we really appreciate this opportunity. Si tumejifunza mengi, right? We have learned a lot, right? Amazing. So I need 3 volunteers. Chop chop. 3 volunteers. No, hutakiwi kujirudia. 3 volunteers. 3 volunteers. Amazing. All right. You remember our game? Do you guys remember the game we had? Okay. So it's still the same. It's still the same. I'm going to point you, and you have to mention any name of any country. But you don't have to repeat a country that your friend has said. Understood? And you don't have to hesitate. You have to be so quick, okay? And it's just going to be random. You're not going chronologically. Understood? Let's all be keen if they repeat the name of a country. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? All right.
Bangladesh.
Louder, please, so that we can all hear.
China.
Oh, please go and have a seat. Thank you.
Ghana. Mozambique.
Tanzania.
China. Canada.
She repeated China, so we have 2.
Tanzania,
Uganda,
Zanzibar,
Kenya,
Kenya.
Rwanda.
Thank you. So we have the winner already. Thank you so much. Hands of applause to her. All right, all right. Maybe we can do this again. Another 3 volunteers. Another 3 volunteers. Chop, chop. Another 3 volunteers. Wow. I love this. Oh, amazing. Amazing. So this ni wanaume too, right? Let's see. Are you guys ready? You know the game, right? Okay. You're going to speak louder, all right?
Mexico, Brazil, Paraguay, Peru.
Thank you. Go and have a seat. All right. Yes.
USA, Canada, Bolivia, Paraguay.
Thank you. We have a winner already. Okay, what have you learned from this game? What have you learned from this game? Wow, thank you. You know, as youth, we have to observe, but we have to pick a lesson from each and everything, all right? But not drug trafficking or human trafficking. Yes, what have you learned from the game?
To be brief, you have to have the quickest decision-making skills.
Wow, thank you. So as youth, we have to have the quickest decision-making skill. Another person? Oh, we have a lot of hands, all right?
I think something else that I noted that just trust yourself.
Trust yourself. Yes, some people are hesitating. So as youth, in whatever you're doing, as long as you have the vision, just trust yourself and keep your head high. What did you learn from the game?
Morning, guys. My name is Happiness Jacob. I learned to be active and planning what you had.
Yes, we have to be active listeners, because somebody said Kenya and another person said Kenya as well. That means he didn't hear well.
Okay, my name is Evan Bona Samuel. What I learned from this game is that whenever a chance comes, just make sure that you grab that chance as early as possible.
Thank you. That's a wonderful lesson, that as youth, we have to grab the chance that we get. That single one chance, grab it and make the best out of it, right? You are the last person. What did you learn?
I learned to be a critical thinker.
Critical thinker. All right, thank you so much. So she learned to be a critical thinker. You have to think, what country that may not be spoken a lot? I gave an example earlier, like who would think of Bangladesh? You know, but everybody will think of Kenya. So as youth, you have to be unique, because for example, if I'm dealing with mental health, then another person is dealing with mental health. What will differentiate us? So we have to be unique. Thank you so much. Can we give ourselves a hand of applause? Amazing. And I can say that this is the time that we were all looking forward to have. And our schedule says that we're going to have a panel discussion. We're going to hear from vibrant youth that are doing an amazing job in our country, but also globally. All right, so I was just given some instructions that there is a bit of change of timetable, but trust me, we are going to do the panel discussion. But you remember we had a session with Dr. Charles, right?
Yeah.
It was interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he didn't finish because you guys were so sad, you were so down. We decided to go for tea break. So right now, he's going to finish his presentation on personal branding. Then afterwards, we are going to have the panel discussion straight ahead. Are you all excited?
Yeah.
Hands of applause to Dr. Charles.
Asante sana. Mimi ndo mnipigie miluzi. Kwani nimekosea nini? So, a member of the board and a dear friend has joined us, and he's going to speak later as he get acquainted with the president and the fellow board member. Those Dr. Jeremy Zungrana from all the way from Burkina Faso. Let us give him a round of applause. The dear friend, former colleague, and brother to me. And sasa naenda kuwa makini. I'm going to be speaking very carefully here. because he mentored me. I told you that I've been so lucky. Now, nyinyi mnafikiri mmekaa na Dr. Chilo peke yake na board member. I'm in trouble here. My mentor is here. Right? Now I'm a mentee mentoring you. As ameshika kitabu, he's checking the tick in the box if I'm doing the right thing. So, let's now finish the job. Tunaomba sauti. Okay. Several words that are very important. The brand is a result. That future you are thinking, make it happen. The brand is something that stays in people, the way they feel about you. Okay? It's what stays in their head. And you're going to see later is what people talk about you when you're not in that room, when you leave. Mnakumbuka kijiweni Mnakaa kijiweni. Some people vijiweni huwa hawataki kuondoka. You know why? Kwa sababu wanaogopa the moment they leave, people start talking about them. Kwa mtu anakaa kijiweni from the morning to the evening because of their poor brand. Right? Hawataki kuondoka kwenye marumbano kwenye ile kijio kwa sababu ukiondoka tu wanakunanga. But what we are talking about here is something what people should be proud to talk about your qualities and you are not in front there. Kwa hiyo that table ya kina Irene itulahisishia sana to define what is a brand. I'm going to move a little bit faster now because we've covered this already. That a brand is that unique combination. Values. Values. What are values? Nazidi kuongeza maneno. What are actually values? Values and personality. You want the world, and I'm putting this in yellow, your audience. Brand. That's why you heard from the video. I'm standing here, Charles, Wanga, working with Path, wearing a blue jacket. And how many are we in this room? Everyone has a different impression about me. Si ndio hivyo? So what can I do better to make a certain impression that centralize of what I want to centrally deliver? Menipata? Nitafanya kitu gani ili my impression to be centrally to you and to be consistent alongside, even though we are nearly 150 people. So in this room, I have 150 impressions of Charles Wanga. Lakini, sometimes those 150 impressions can be so wrong about you, or can be so bad about you. At the same time, right now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting close to my brother. I'm branding myself to him. I'm trying to impress him like, look, this is the person you mentored. I have a point. Unapofanya branding, you just don't do it for everybody. Sometimes you have a focus. Okay? You are really, nakumbuka tulisema somewhere, you are aiming at a certain company. In the review that you brought back to me when I sent that survey, you mentioned THS, you mentioned World Bank, right? And also, Mariam has mentioned already, and I think Waziri mentioned earlier, if you are branding to go for THS to be the next Arnold Kaihula, you have to understand how THS works, right? If you're branding to go to where Waziri comes from Jepaigo, you have to understand how Jepaigo works. If you're branding yourself to Madam Rita, Girl Effect, you have to find out what they care about, women, empowerment, and gravitate your branding towards what are their values, not necessarily your values. And you have to make and strike a balance. Kuna watu wameuliza kuhusu balancing. So, this is the component we've been covering this morning. Tulisema mwanzo kwamba we're going to cover the workshop and we're going to explain it. We covered everything and now we are putting in systematically what it means. It means your skills and expertise. It means the values that you hold so dear and what you believe in. It means how do you show up. Executive presence is right now. The way you see me standing in front of you, you're making an impression. You're sweeping me from my shoes all the way to my torso. The way I appear. The next moment that will help me better is when I speak. Kuja hapa nimevaa koti. Nashindwa hata kuongea. Can't even present to you. I'm actually panicking right now. However smart I appear in front of you, I am dead. Tunaelewana eh? So put on your best t-shirt, put on a best suit. You don't speak up. Nobody's gonna listen. Umepewa mpaka microphone, you're not even speaking. So one time, I grabbed a blank microphone from Jeremy. And that's very important. The microphone does not work, but it prompts you to speak up. Okay? So when you have a microphone, please, we want to hear you. That's the second part of executive presence. Okay? The first part is take care of your appearance so that people don't see you. Si mnanielewa? Nanielewa? The essence of appearance is for people not to see you when you're standing in front of the podium. When they see you, you are in trouble. I'll explain. If you wear strange colors, if you wear zile za vijana zile ambazo zinaning'inia hapa, when you bend over, the whole thing is kind of coming down. People start noticing you. If you wear cleavage all the way to the bottom, right? Yani ambayo sio ambayo inategemewa. People are going to see you. People are not interested with me right now because I'm less distracting with you. I'm just wearing a blue jacket. And my intention is for you to dream as I speak to you. And not for me to be another distraction. Si mmenielewa eh? I'm standing here raising my voice so that you care about your dreams inside your head and you're making your own impressions. Sasa kama mina present alafu. But you can make pauses like what I just did. Kama tumeongea asubuhi, everything I've been doing today is to share what I've been honored to gain as a young person leading to now, so that, as Dr. Chilo said, we are, and the board member said, we want the next generation to get a start at the top. Ili muweze kujiandaa. Sawa eh? I've said this already because I saw it somewhere. It's something people say when you're not in there. It's when you finish the interview, people are going to talk about you. That is the brand and impression you're going to leave to them. Tuko pamoja eh? Tumalizie kidogo. Naomba sauti. Sound guy. Where did the sound guy go? David.
Responsiveness, teamwork, innovation, leadership. Then, when you're clear about these, you build a tremendous personal brand by starting with the principle of integrity. There's no better reputation you can have other than for people to say that when they do business with you, you always fulfill the promises. The answer to success is to do what you've been hired to do and do it now. This expands into every area of your interactions with others. Here's the rule. Everything counts. Everything that you do either creates and builds your brand or weakens and restores your brand. Everything counts. So let's look at the 8 laws of branding. The first law of branding is the law of specialization.
Please take notes. Tunamaliza hivyo.
Focus your brand on one area of achievement.
Umesikia hiyo one area.
Simply and clearly to others. The second law is the law of leadership. You have to be recognized and acknowledged as one of the most knowledgeable, respected, or skilled people in your field. So one of the things you ask yourself is, where do I want to be a leader in my field? The third law of branding is the law of personality. Your brand must be built around your personality in all its aspects, including flaw. Now, here's a question for you. What would be the best personality brand for you to have? Here's an example. it's completely destroying of a person's brand to find out that he or she is mean to people in life.
Take note of that.
Brand claims you can get is that people say that you are always the same on the outside as you are on the inside.
Naelewa hiyo?
This law of branding is the law of persistence.
And consistency.
Once you establish your personal brand, give it time to grow. Stick with your brand and ignore fads, trends, changes. In other words, be consistent all the time. The final law of branding is the law of goodwill. The more you are perceived as well-intentioned or embodying valued ideals, the more influential your brand will be. Have a positive personal brand that people look up to and admire. Here's what you do. We call this back from the future thinking. Ask yourself, if 3 years from now, if they were going to do a study on me and come back with a report on the kind of person I was, the way I treated other people, how people talked about me, my reputation, and my position in the hearts and minds of others, what words would I want them to use? Of all the words that they could use, what would be the one word that would help you more than anything else in your field? It's really a work of brilliance to pick a word that will be your leading attribute. What word should people use to describe your superb brand? The next step is asking yourself, what can I do differently from now on so that people think of me like this all?
So what are you going to be doing from today? What are you going to be doing from today to build your brand? This is what you're going to be doing from today. And we started in the morning. Find your purpose, define it. Analyze your situation, ukoje sasa hivi, and be honest, and find people to be frank about your brand. Construct your personal narrative. And let's go 1 second each at a time. We have talked about vision na mpaka mmeandika. Usipojua unakokwenda, utaenda kokote. But if you have a vision, and it can be changing as time goes, it can be a month vision, it can be a 2-year vision, you have to know and craft. Watu wote waliofanikiwa kwenye branding wana hiyo vision. Make a list of everything and your skills za sasa. Na utafute language kama alivyosema Brian Truss that is going to be actively describing you. At the same time, look for your friends. Sasa hivi rafiki zako wakusaidie basi, sio kupromoshe. Rafiki zako wakusaidie kukupa the feedback you need to improve your brand. Sio wale ambao twende bwana huku, twende huku, twende huku. Since I start from my home, I'm blessed to have several kids. So I remember doing a Twitter presentation. And I said, if my wife can get it, other people will get it. Because she's not into these things. So she criticized me. Things are going through my ear and going the other side. And that's when I understood no one ataelewa. So find people who are close to you to help you to really sharpen your branding journey. Now construct your personal narrative. I told you I write about myself. I write about this session. And I'm going to swap the display to tell you exactly. So this is what I do. I have written, normally I would write my slides and I don't read them. But for this, I tried a little bit to describe. As I told you, to be able to stand here and speak with you, I had to prepare. I had to write everything. And I've been doing this for 20 years. But I said, look, I'm going to look for people who are aspiring leaders. I can't go and wing it. Ukimwona mtu anahangaika hapa, it means they've just come to wing it. Usifikiri the way I'm talking here is just, I'm just doing it. No. I prepared. So if you come in front here and start doing just this without preparing, utachemsha. Every good speaker, leader, presenter, president, they prepare, they write, and then they go and read those things around. So we see, hello, current and future leaders. I'm thrilled to introduce myself as a global public health communicator, blah, 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 what I've done. What motivates me daily is seeing how effective communication director contributes to leading change. I write, And I know my things, and I've been doing this for 20 years. Still, I have to respect you. Prepare. Also, ask for pili for the audience. And also engage the audience mapema kufahamu mna maswali gani. That's how you can present. Si tunaelewana eh? Now pray for me that I go back there and swap this display back. Okay. Asante. Yeah, so don't be too stiff. Kama mmeangalia, in the morning, I've been talking about people. I talk about Waziri, I talk about my brothers, I talk about, because that's what you understand. Sawa. So find a way to make it relatable. So I am a doctor of dental surgery, and before that, actually I am a doctor of dental surgery. But does that count, right? What count is what relates with you. And find a way, practice mara nyingi mpaka inakuwa inaeleweka in a way that it can be. So I present myself, I'm the same guy. Back when I was young, that is 1990 and black and white, somewhere along secondary school. My values now are in books and stuff. And I have my friends and my boss and everything. That is me. You find me offline, you find me online. That is the same person. That's what you should be selling. That's what people trust you. Sio unakuwa huko chumbani chooni huko hivi unafanya mambo ya ajabu, unatoka mtaani unafanya vitu vingine. No. If you heard from Brian Tracy, try to be and make a little fun of yourself so that it makes easier. Don't be so stiff. Una madigrii au mazito, hebu ilainishe basi iweze kuelezeka. Tuko pamoja eh? And leave your brand. Iongelee hapa, ionekane. I was with, what's your name? Sorry. Now you have to voice up.
I'm Janice. Janice.
So I'm standing in the line with Janice. We're having breakfast. Tukapanga foleni, ikakwama. And then chakula kimeisha. And then I told her and I showed her and I told her, look, I'm going to tell you in the class what that means. These wonderful people, they all started jumping the line. And they are leaders. And I told her, you know what? We're going to stick around here. There's no food, but we're going to stick right here. Kwa hiyo kama unajipambana mtu mzuri, halafu foleni kizingua kidogo tu unaanza kucross. Please no. Have patience. Leave what? Leave your brand. Calm down. Learn to listen and learn to, chill. To a point that utaonekana kiongozi. Okay. Mashasikia, communicate, find ways to communicate online. Na pia, THS does this a lot. Socialize your brand. When people talk about you more, you become more trusted. So you can hear people talk about THS. It's not THS itself. Inatumia influencers na wengine. So when your friends are able to talk about you, and I see that, folks are volunteering to talk about a brand, inakuwa inasaidia zaidi. So we'll send you these notes, kwa sababu baada ya muda, everything doesn't work all the time. You need to analyze, evaluate, and kwa sasa, kazi kwenu. Find your skills and strengths. Ziongeze, zikomaze. Ile step 7, zifuatilie kila wakati. Make a plan, okay? Your knowledge, your skills, bad habits, achana nazo. Kuanzia sasa, wako vijana mna shida, naambia ukweli wasitazunguka. Social media is killing you, at the same time elevating you. You're now forgetting the power of writing. And no one is going to write or invite you the way you write. But thankfully there's AI. Mwekeni hao ma THX yenu, whatever, when you're writing something, mtu anakuandikia email nzima kwenye heading. Oh my God, the whole body is in the heading. Na nimezipata hizo. Just somebody start. I can tell you, I've been writing for 20 years. I will start by dear. Hata kama namwandikia Pili kumjibu mara 20. Hi Pili, dear Pili. Hi Pili, it helps me to calm down. Don't feel like umeshanizoea. I have never done that for 20 years. But you guys do it for the first time. I don't even know you. Unanipigia yani blank subject. Na mambo yanakwenda hivi. I have 2 more minutes. Kwa hiyo jamani, mkitaka kuonekana mko kama wengine wanataka kufanya kazi, don't do those things. Fanyeni hizo WhatsApp huko, lakini use AI, proofread your work. Your email has to be perfect. Hakuna ujanja. Mmenielewa? Jamani, your email has to be perfect. There's artificial intelligence now. Load it to where Copilot, ask Pilot to proofread it so that it's better English. Nobody cares na vipuisho vyako. But people care when they feel like, oh, this person is going to write right. Who knows when we use AI? Hata kama use AI, I'm using a calculator anyways, right? I'm using a computer, so embrace technology and go for it. Unafanyaje kazi? Hapa ndo msala. Sawa? Nitaenda kuanalyze. Lakini principles zako, mine is integrity and perseverance. For me, integrity is very important na responsibility. Kwa kweli sipenda kupindisha kona. Nadhani pia kliniki tungegombana kwa hiyo mambo ya kona. May I like to be, straight up. That's what my values are. So find organization that will connect to your values, and at the same time, hii ndio ngumu, emotions management, to decide kama ulivyokuruka mstari, kama tulipokuwa na Jaines pale, unatulia, hamna now that na dakika 2 naanza kubang tables. Arnold hapa amewatuma vijana kuja kubadilisha hivi, badala yake mnakasirika, tumefanya usiku mzima. That is emotional intelligence. Na hiyo ni muhimu zaidi kuliko masomo uliyosoma, kwa sababu wanaotoa huduma na kazi wanaangalia zaidi, can we hang around this person actually? Lakini kama tell it as it is, mpe nini nimesema? Mpe vidonge, hamnaga vidonge kazini, you lose it. You are the loser. Okay? Jitahidi, jifunze kidogo, una nguvu kijana, lakini please empathize, find something you can achieve and learn networking during this week at these conferences. Na tumeshaongea executive presence ndugu zangu, na mtaenda kujitahidi. You are always good on social media. Transform whatever you have that you have already and make it. Simple examples, I'm everywhere and I'm always like this on social and I use for the purpose. Kama ni Twitter, naangalia viongozi wangu na kupost vitu kama hivyo, and kama ni LinkedIn, I'm also there. Kama ni Facebook, this is actually my LinkedIn profile, na ukienda utakuta. So go to successful brands, eager, copy shamelessly. Ndio maana watoto wanaweza kutembea kwa sababu wana copy adults. Why don't you do the same, right? This is a way of copying. Kama wewe sio Steve Jobs, maybe you can, but eventually, initially, please copy. And I honor my mentors. Jeremy knows he is, but those are 2 my mentors. They are communication leads. I post them online. I'm branding myself, but also I'm being empathetical and telling the world that I'm also grateful to the journey that I have. Sawa, sijafika hapa kwa kubahatisha. And for LinkedIn, I really love taking photos, so you find a lot of my family there. So find your brand so people can know you exactly and know what to expect, right? And I thank you so much.
Wow. That was amazing. A lot to take, but powerful, right? Can we please give him again a round of applause? All right. That was so insightful. Thank you so much. I would like to welcome 2 questions. If there is any question. All right. Anyone else with a question? So we have only 1 question. Karibu.
Hello. My name is Stafford, a biomedical engineer, student from MOHAS. My question is, how can I maintain authenticity while building personal brand that can resonate across the different cultures and the industries?
How can one maintain authenticity as far as personal branding is concerned? How can one maintain authenticity as far as personal branding is concerned? Karibu.
That's a 1-day workshop question. Kwanza swali zuri sana. Tumpongeze kwanza. Tumpongeze mwenzetu kwa kuuliza swali zuri. Tusimnyime. That's what emotional intelligence steps in. And that's a very good question. And that's what we didn't cover in detail. Authenticity itatoka kwako kwa uwezo kuangalia wengine pia. Lakini baada, I think I spoke on 101 with you, and let's chat after that. Baada ya kujua umesoma degree, yes, but how do you get to do your job? That's very important. I think it was, what is the gentleman from Zanzibar? Where is he? No, Hafiz? Yes, tumeongea na Hafiz peke yake na mtafute kuhusu how can you actually work. It's different from what you studied. I did dentistry. I'm doing something else. But how I was born to deliver will never change. So find that and focus on it. How do you work? Are you a listener? Are you a learner? Are you second in command? I told him, I think Janice, I thrive well when I am second in command. That I can work through my director, very powerful. I don't need to be first. That is me. What about you? Kwa hiyo through emotional content, nabidi utafute hiyo, tutafutane, tuisome vizuri, your ability to understand what burns inside you, right? And to refrain, that's the second one. And what motivates you will get you to the authenticity. It's a whole day discussion, fortunately and unfortunately. But at the same time, your social skills. So that will bring out and then identify your skills, bring them out. It's a little bit challenging now because you're young and you can get lost. But tuonane tuongee vizuri kwa sababu we have another session coming next.
Thank you very much. So when he was presenting, there is one point which really caught my attention. He said, as far as personal branding is concerned, we have to have fun. And I remember I promised you that we are going to have fun. So our next schedule is a panel discussion. But before we go for panel discussion, we are youth and we do our things in our own way, right? And what I can see, you guys are so tired. So we are going to dance. I promised you that we are going to dance. And of course we have to be different from other side events, right? We are youth, si ndivyo? We have talked about authenticity. Tusijifanye bwana na makoti yetu. Si tunachezaga mapiano. Yes, so we're going to have fun, but we're going to learn as well. DJ, so we are going to have a, what do we call this? Kwaito. Yes, we're gonna have Kwaito. And I would love everyone to stand up. Watakaoweza kuja hapa mbele, waje. We're gonna have that session for 5 minutes. Jamani, kama wewe ni kijana hujui kucheza Kwaito, this is the moment. So, DJ, can you hype us up, please? I'm gonna start with Dr. Charles. DJ. Hey, 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 hey. Come on, guys. Hey, hey. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on. Wow, wow, wow. Hey, hey, hey. 1, 2, 3. Hey. DJ, unatubania sauti, unajua eh? Sijui tusogea. We can make 3 lines. We can make 3 lines. Mambo si ndo hayo sasa jamani, eh? Ala! Vijana oe! Tanzania Health Summit safi! Yani hawa ndo wakurugenzi, board of directors in 5 years to come. Exactly, we have to have fun. Maisha ndo haya. Aha. Wewe. Wow, amazing. DJ unatupatia. Tuende kazi. Hapo tuendelee tulipoishia. Wewe. Jamani, msione aibu. Thank you so much DJ. Nachoweza tu kuahidi tunarudi hapa tena. Makofi tafadhali. Wow, amazing. This was amazing. Kumbe unajua kipindi watu wanacheza hapa nikaona vijana wali watatu wana kitu, watafika mbali as far as dancing is concerned. A big round of applause to ourselves, please. Thank you. And finally, we are going for the panel discussion session. And now I will hand over to Arnold Kaihula, who will take over as a moderator in the panel discussion. Yeah, so Mr. Arnold Kaihula will take us through as a moderator in the panel discussion. But before, oh my God, today we are so blessed. We have our board of director who will just speak like 3 minutes, will say a word to us, and then we will go straight to the panel discussion. I promise you, there is no any other timetable other than the panel discussion. So you're mostly welcome. Hands of applause, please. Wow. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Is it on? Can you hear me? Bonjour. Comment ça va? Ça va très bien. How was the session? Good? What did you learn today? A lot of things, right? Who learned one thing for the first time in his life? Raise your hand if you learn anything since this morning. Oh, you didn't learn anything? Huh? Okay. So who think this session will change his life? Wow. Okay. So since I have been giving only 3 minutes, I think 3 minutes is too much for what I want to say. I just want to say thank thank you so much for selecting to be here today. Because what you will be learning, or what you think you learn, will serve you for your entire life. Promise. This is the time you feel like you don't know why you are learning this thing. But this is the time your mind, your body, everything want to learn thousands of things. But also, if I have to check in this room, you have different kind of skill. You probably have coming from different school. But you will realize that most of things that have been said here are not part of your curriculum at school, right? So the only way for you to get this kind of soft skill during a big conference like this is using opportunity, because it's based on the gap, based on the need, based on the type of tool you need to be the leader of tomorrow. So I really want to congratulate you for being here. Sometimes it's not easy to sit, but it's a good decision. I wish I can give my personal experience, but I have to say I am still learning. Sitting here for just 10 minutes, I learn and I can confirm. But this is what you need to be a leader of tomorrow. So I'm happy that you are taking note. This is a good. I'm also happy that you are asking questions, you are giving. So extremely, extremely impressed. You've part of those. And honestly, you have to clap. I was impressed. And I'm also happy that Dr. Charles is continuing what we started at the beginning. Youth development is very, very key if we want to have initiative like Tanzania Health Summit continue. Maybe one day becoming Africa Health Summit, and you guys will be managing leading session, right? So I think I completed my 3 minutes, and I just want to say next year you have to come with your own experience to share what you learn and what you think you need to learn. Tell Charles and other leaders what you want to learn from the world to succeed, and they will make it happen. Thank you so much for participating, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your words of wisdom. Another round big of applause, please. All right, so as I promised you, I am not bringing anything up again. We are going directly straight forward to the panel discussion. And I would like to invite our moderator, Mr. Arnold Kaihula, who possesses expertise in entrepreneurship and public health. He managed the Tanzania Health Summit, the nation's largest public-private healthcare platform, which brings together over 1,500 stakeholders annually to enhance healthcare in Tanzania. Kaihula is a co-founder of AfyaLead, a startup recognized with national and international awards, including the National Innovation Award 2022 and the Best Vintage Startup Award by Pesa Tech Accelerator. He has participated in prestigious international fellowships and co-founded the UDOM Health Club, which impacts 30,000 students annually at the University of Dodoma. Kaihula is also an analytical writer advocating for positive change in healthcare. Hands of applause to Mr. Kaihula. Karibu sana. Haya toshi vigelegele.
Hello. Hello. It's a very nice day, and this afternoon we are pausing here to reflect the youth capacity building program that was initiated in the past 5 years. And I can remember I was a part of the first cohort of YOCAB program. So when Dr. Charles was presenting to you, I was reflecting back 5 years when we were at St. Gaspar Hotel. It was just a small room, and it had just like 20 participants. And later on, I was one of those who progressed for YOCAP program mentorship. So again, today it's a very nice day that we are pausing this time to reflect the past 5 years. What we have achieved for YOCAP program that is aiming at creating the future leaders, mentoring the young people in terms of leadership, communication skills, and shape their career path development. We have a lot of examples that we are proud of. I think Dr. Chile said, Dr. Wange said a lot of them. I might be part of them, but myself, I'm very proud of many other young people who have excelled in their careers, and they are doing very great. So, this afternoon, I'm going to host the panel of very brilliant people, very amazing and great people. And I would like to introduce to you to the first panelist, Dr. Ambrose Katungi. Dr. Ambrose Muez Katung is a seasoned public health specialist with over 10 years experience in maternal and newborn clinical services within the government and private sector. He holds a degree in medicine and master's in public health. He is currently the Africa Regional Director at We Care Solar, where he plays a pivotal role in enhancing healthcare delivery across multiple countries. He specializes in health system strengthening, focusing on sustainable healthcare delivery improvement. In a very special way, I personally connected with Dr. Ambrose last year when we were in Cape Town for the International Conference in Maternal Health, and I was part of the 20 fellows for that conference. And we had just a very casual chat that sparked a lot of impact that I think you'll allow me to share. That for the first time from that conversation, We Care Solar launched their country offices and started the operation in Tanzania. So from then, the rest is the history. He has become one of my good friends and one of our YOCAB mentor. Karibu sana, Dr. Ambrose Katung. The second panelist will be Alois Urasa. Alois, okay. So Alois Urasa has a very long biography at his very young age. But to my best, I have tried to condense and to summarize that Alois is a public health scientist and young global health leader with expertise in health laboratory sciences and public health research, specialized in health systems and implementation science. His research focus has been on malaria transmission, blocking intervention, novel tools for malaria elimination, health diplomas, local manufacturing for Africa, and impact of climate change on health systems. Alois has extensive experience in resource mobilization, research, and advocacy, with over 5 years' experience leading several projects across African countries and consulting on data-driven advocacy, leadership, and project monitoring and evaluation. He has engaged in a high-level policy discussion with global health and political leaders at high-level forums, including Global Health, Global Fund Replacement, UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, COP 2028, AU Summits, Conference in Public Health in Africa, a hike, and more. He has also received several awards and recognition for his work, including Paul Harris Fellow by Rotary International, Under 25 Africa Youth Leaders in Capture, Tanzania Emerging Youth Awards and in health categories, and finalist for Health and Social Care Awards, Zenith Global Health. Currently, Alois works as a technical lead for private sector engagement at African Leaders Malaria Alliance, ALMA, driving public-private partnerships to strengthen health systems, health financing, and resource mobilization for Africa Union members. He is also founding member of Amplify Health Development in Africa. He's also passionate about leveraging novel technologies, including AI, machine learning, big data analytics, and blockchain to enhance primary health care. His biography was like two pages, but I did myself to make sure that I summarize it to at least some few paragraphs at his very young age. And actually, in a very special way, I first connected it to Alois in 2020 when we were 2021. It was 2021 in Dodoma at the Tanzania summit. It was like the 8th, 7th Tanzania summit. And he was also YOCAB fellow. And I had came for the second court to give some testimony how YOCAB transformed my career. So we connected, and the rest is a story. He has become one of my good friends as well. Round of applause to Alois, please. And I'm also proud to have seen him climbing the ladders and making a big impact on the continent. Our third panelist will be Dr. Margaret Angels. Dr. Margaret is a accomplished medical doctor with public health specialist, deeply committed to serve her community in healthcare-related issues. With focus in innovation and research, she showcases exceptional leadership and genuine passion for making positive impact. Margaret finds fulfillment in witnessing her society and safe ecosystem, positioning her as an influential role model with creative, unique communication style. Karibu sana, Dr. Margaret. So, Dr. Margaret currently serves as the Research and Training Program Officer at Sri Hindumanda Hospital in Dar es Salaam, where she leads efforts to advance public health through research and medical training. Karibu sana, Dr. Margaret. And for the first time, I personally connected to Dr. Margaret when we were in the same Africa Union Bingo initiative at Africa CDC. So she was my colleague, and from then I have seen her climbing the ladders, and she's really committed and making a very big impact in public health space. Karibu sana, Dr. Margaret, and we are very happy for you. And the last panelist, this is our YOCAB alumni as well. Can you guess who is? Dr. Annabel Itaeri. Karibu sana, Dr. Annabel. So, Dr. Annabel is a Commonwealth Shared Scholar pursuing Masters of Health Data Science at prestigious University of St. Andrews in Scotland. Is passionate about data governance, digital transformation, and digital health policy in developing countries. She uses both Python and Allah. She has 4 years of experience in leading volunteers, advocating for sexual and reproductive health, and rights education in 5 secondary schools in Dar es Salaam. Karibu sana, Dr. Annabel. I personally connected to Dr. Annabel when she first applied for YOCAB program. It was in 2022, right? So I was the youth programs coordinator at the Tanzania summit, and I was engaged in selection committee. I was very impressed on her achievement. By then she was a student at the University of Muhimbili. And we are very proud to have seen that you have prospered in your career and you are well determined. So karibu sana, Dr. Annabel Itaeli. So you can see what amazing panel I have this afternoon. So, nianzie wapi sasa? Dr. Ambrose knows Kiswahili, so kidogo. Karibu sana. So, Dr. Ambrose, there are many programs like youth capacity building program at Tanzania Summit that aim at preparing the future leaders. But the needs and the role of mentors are evolving over time. So I wanted to know what your specific recommendation on strengthening youth capacity building program like YOCAB at Tanzania Summit. Based on your experience as the Africa Regional Manager, I know you have been mentoring a lot of staffs, and probably you have been engaging in some of the other youth capacity building programs. So what are your recommendations on strengthening such kind of programs? Karibu.
Thank you very much, Arnold, and it's a pleasure being here. Arnold says I speak Swahili, but that is not entirely very true, so allow me stick to it. I never had a chance to attend a program like this. My training 14 years ago, 13 years ago, medical school. But then I had a chance to be mentored by people through my own personal initiatives, through Rotary and Rotaract and several other engagements. But then I will tell you a story of a man who fell in a ditch. And in his struggles to get out of the ditch, somebody was passing and he told him, "Don't worry, I'm a lawyer. When you get out, find me and I'll give you pro bono legal services." And that one went away. The second man was passing, said, "I'm a doctor. So when you get out, I'll treat your injuries for free." And the man was wondering, how comes nobody has tried to look for a rope or a ladder to get me out of this ditch? And so the third man who came in jumped in the ditch. This guy was like, "Look at this fool. I am in the ditch struggling to get out. Instead of you helping me, you fall in the same ditch." And the man said, "Don't worry. A few days back, I fell in this ditch and I got out. I know how to maneuver without a rope, without a ladder, and get out." The role of mentorship is to find somebody who has been in the ditch right where you are and has maneuvered to come out of it without using shortcuts of life. So for the many youth out there in Tanzania, to be part of a program like this is being lucky. If I could use that word, it's being lucky. And for me, I would say that the question is about evolving needs and then the recommendations. You're in a time where things change, things evolve, and you must be very straightforward in your thinking as well as in your passions and interests. I had a conversation with Annabelle a few minutes back, and I was saying, are we seeking passion or pay? And at what stage do these two things change? Sometimes we seek passion, and then we find that it can't meet our bills, and we begin struggling to find the pay. And sometimes we seek for pay, and then we find that passion is very important. At a stage where you can strike a balance of the two, you'll be very lucky to struggle to find the balance. Because whether you want it or not, a time reaches where you have to find that balance. When it's late, you regret. So those evolving needs, I put a few down and I will try to go through them in a very short time. One is the technology. It is changing. You either change with it or you're left behind. There are people using social media for the wrong reasons. There are those using it to sell themselves, to brand themselves, to position themselves. I want to use the word positioning. And I'll define the word
important. Maybe the course I went, or the discipline I am in, or the field I am currently working with, and it's not important compared to another discipline. Everyone is important and every discipline is important. We just know how to effectively collaborate with others. And for us to collaborate, we need to learn, we need to interact. Because the more knowledgeable you are about the other discipline, the easier it becomes for you to collaborate with them and to bring about a sustainable solution. And when you collaborate, actually you can create not only innovative solution, but also the sustainable. Okay, I wanted to forget. When I was still a medical student at Muhimbili, I think most of you knows about Dr. Limkononi, right? You have ever heard of it. So we were medical students, we had medical knowledge, but how can we disseminate it to reach the broader audience? So we needed people from other disciplines, tech people. We collaborated with other students from UDSM, and we developed a mobile application because we had the knowledge. And where are we going to put those, maybe medical articles or something like that? So we need, multidisciplinary collaboration is very, very important when we want to effectively address these complex public health problems.
Thank you so much, Dr. Margaret. And I hope in this room we do not have only people with health background. We have other people from different disciplines. So we bring here for you to connect, learn from one another, and to make something that can be impactful. And Dr. Margaret has reminded me the time when we are struggling to develop our product at Pamoja Bima at Afya Lead company, one of the side companies that I founded. We had to look for an IT, a person who is an expert in IT. But looking for someone, you need someone who you will trust, you need someone who will match, and that takes another level of collaboration and connection. That means as long as you connect with other people in different disciplines, when you are looking for someone from IT sector, then it will be very easy for you because you are already connected with someone, and it's very easy to approach him or her. So thank you so much, Dr. Margaret. Dr. Annabelle, we are pausing today to reflect the past 5 years of YOCAB. And I well know that you have been one of the beneficiaries of YOCAB program. And so I wanted you in just 2 minutes to reflect on how YOCAB has transformed your career.
Hello, everyone. So I would say that I joined YOCAB a year ago. Yes, no, 2 years ago. So by then we had a mentorship program, and I was assigned to Madam Prudence Masako, who is not here right now. But I would really say that was among the discussions we had.
Sorry, Annabelle, who is Prudence Masako?
The head of Care International in Tanzania. I would say the discussions we had were really, you can take 10 years of experience in a discussion that you would, in a normal sense, actually have to pay for such type of discussions with her. So one thing I really learned from Madam Prudence is communication. So I initially, when I was in medical school, with all things that I've done, I used to post them in my WhatsApp status. So they're posted, people know that, oh, Annabelle is doing this and that. But what I really missed during all those 5 years of doing whatever I was doing is I never really posted in LinkedIn. And if you really want to go international, that means you have an audience beyond your immediate cycle. And truth be told is actually the ones who will employ you are more likely out of your immediate cycle. So you need to really take your work out there. There was this post that I saw that says that sometimes the best worker is not actually the one most recognized. So you are the one who has the role to actually celebrate what you do. So if you want to go to be recognized nationally or internationally, don't hyperbolize your work, but take a moment to write down, oh, today I'm going to do this and this and that. So, for example, who posted on LinkedIn that tomorrow I'll be at THS? With a show of hands. Anyone?
Show your hand. I do track THS 2024. I do track hashtag THS 2024. Raise your hand.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say I would give you the benefit of doubt that, okay, you have never used LinkedIn before or after, but trust me, it's the little things that when you go to an interview, you would be surprised that somebody would, oh, I looked at your whole LinkedIn profile. I see you did this and this and that. And that's the start of a conversation. So that is really, really important for you to do. And another thing that would be so important is to actually define what you want people to see in social media and what you want to get from social media. So people do a lot of things with social media, but I would say sit down and analyze what impression do you want people to get from you, and what impression do you want to give to people. And that is one thing I think if I would go back 5 years down, the day I'm given a phone, that is exactly that I would want to be trained with. So this is WhatsApp. WhatsApp would get this and these people. If you want to do this, do it through WhatsApp. If you want to do this, do it through Twitter. If you want to do this, do it through Instagram. I think that's a very important training, because these social media are not just there. They're not, you don't post anything in any social media. You really have to define that, okay, in LinkedIn, I am defined as this person, and this is what I'll post in LinkedIn. And in Facebook, this is what I'll post in Facebook and Instagram and whatsoever. And that is quite important.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Annabelle, and for such very important reflection on your YOCAP journey. So, over to you, Alois. You have been engaging on very high level panel discussions at the international level, and mostly dominated by very adult and aged people. How do you find it challenging? The first question. But you have been YOCAB alumni as well. And I remember Dr. Wanga was one of your facilitators. Can you share a little bit how that influenced your career path development? And I remember the time you were a student at the university, KSMC. You were the student at the KSMC. So how that transformed your career as well. But more importantly, I want you to share. So Alois, I've told you before, Alois was the chair of Youth Advisory Council at ALMA, Africa Leadership Malaria. Africa Leaders Malaria. Yes. So at his very young age, he has been sitting on the panels with very senior people. I want you to share with us how challenging it is and how these young people here can navigate through that path. Karibu.
Asante sana Arnold, and maybe before I answer your question, I was really inspired when Annabelle was talking about social media, and just to testify that in June I finished my term as the largest Rotary International Malaria Action Group for 3 years, and how I approached to serve on that board is it was through something that I had posted something that we did in Muheza for malaria, and she just approached me and asked about she asked for my portfolio. I shared with her, and later she asked for my email. I shared, and a few months later they invited me to serve at their board as African Youth Ambassador, and later they took me as an advisor for their board, which I served until this year in June. But coming to the question of YOCAB, being a member of YOCAB, you know, when I was walking here, I just remembered something, and I said I should read it through. Just, dear Alois, it was great to have you at the THS Youth Capacity Building Workshop in Dodoma this week. Although time was not on our side, I believe the seminar, sharing, interactions, networking, and experience were worthwhile to you. I also hope that the sessions ignited a leadership passion you will continue to nourish. I am going to send you the executive presence resources I promised. Don't just read them. Practice what you learn. Practice even more. Again and again, you saw me. I am a proof of how executive presence can have a positive impact personally and professionally. I wish you all the best today and always. Dr. Charles Wanga Japaigo. Can you clap hands for him? This message was on October 17th, 2021. The first ever message I received from Dr. Charles Wanga. And what do I want to say is that whatever you preach, you have to be it. Whatever identity you try to show people you are is what you have to live. And this is what I really learned from Dr. Charles. I was just a student. I had nothing really to offer to him, ideally. And I just given him my contact, and a few days later, he was the first to message me, not even me. Yani ilibidi mimi ndo njipendekeze, lakini yeye anakuwa wa kwanza, so passionate about, he wants to see us growing. And that's what he has always been preaching. And this is one of the very key elements I've been learning in these platforms, that you have to live the identity that you're preaching. And this is the challenge, answering to Arnold's question, that some of the elders or seniors don't live what they preach on the panels. You sit on the panel, they're like, yes, we want to engage young people and we want to do this for young people, but they never do it. It just remains tokenism. So that's one of the really big challenge we have with many adults. But we need now to have exemplary icons like Dr. Charles Wanga and many others who are really doing the work, not only keeping young people on the bracket of youth, and then not considering you as an important asset, but rather as people to be used to do things, to showcase on the social media, but not really being an important platform for them. I think that's really a challenge we are working through, but there is more Charles Wangas coming up, I can say, and really becoming the true identity and true supporters of young people. I served at ALMA, the African Leaders Malaria Alliance. It's a coalition of heads of states, 55 presidents of Africa. And I was just like a youth champion. But 3 years down the line, they saw like a potential, and they hired me to be their technical lead for private sector engagement. So you can see that things are changing with time. But the most important thing is, I can now translate to 4 A's. One is attitude. Your attitude really matters. No matter how brilliant you are, no matter how eloquent you are, but if you have a negative attitude, you are never going to make it. I read something from my friend Vivian recently. She wrote that we need to know at what time to present ourselves. It's not always that we are all going to be leaders. Alisema sio wote tutakuwa viongozi. Wengine wataongozwa na wengine wataongozwa. So you have always to present a right attitude, whether unaongoza au unaongozwa. The second A is aptitude, knowledge. You must be knowledgeable enough to carry on in these things. You might complain a lot that the seniors are not letting you do things. But I tell you, if Arnold was not competent enough and knowledgeable enough about THS, about how to operate and organize events, he will never be a manager for THS. Aptitude is very important. The third thing is action. You are knowledgeable, yes, but do you present your knowledge? You translate your knowledge into actions. What do you do, and where do you show your actions? And this takes us to a fourth A, that is awareness. Make people aware of you, who you are. I'll finalize with the story of Kofi Annan. One day Kofi Annan was in a village in Nigeria, and these young people are coming around screaming to him, carrying their books, their diaries, and different things. He didn't hear exactly what the shouts were about. When they approached him, all of them were just shouting, Morgan Freeman, Morgan Freeman, Morgan Freeman. And they wanted him to sign their books as Morgan Freeman, but that was Kofi Annan. When Kofi Annan was telling this story, he gave one lesson that he learned from that. No matter in which room you sit at, make sure you introduce yourself. And it doesn't matter what kind of introduction you give about yourself. People will define you. Be careful with who, with which kind of identity they will identify you with. He was identified as Morgan Freeman. That was good. He would have maybe been identified by other character, which is bad, which is perceived as a bad character. So make sure you always live a good life, build up yourself well. Your personal identity should be really clear. Your branding, Dr. Charles was talking about it here, should be very clear and clean, that people don't compare you to a certain bad identity, as they'll always compare you to a certain identity. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alois, for that wonderful insights. And it has been a very interesting. How many of you have you got something from this panel discussion? Just raise up your hand like this one. Okay. How many of you have any question to any of the panelists? Karibu. You can just speak loud. Okay, we have a mic. Can you have a mic for you? So Alois was reminding me when he was talking about how young people can get involved. It's not just a matter of getting involved. It's a matter of getting involved with impact. And I can testify to you, like 90% of my team are just under, the average age of my team is just 26 to 27, I think so. And yet they are delivering. If you see things are happening behind the scene, people are spending a lot of time and getting things done. I had Piri. Piri has been one of our youth programs coordinator, and he was one of our Yokabo alumni. Piri and Rosemary. They spent yesterday the whole night here to make things happen and set things the way they appear this way. So they could have a lot of million of reasons why things wouldn't have been done. And probably they would have been good reasons, but they always make sure to get things done. And that's always I always insist to my mentees and other young people that I read, that no matter what, make sure that you get things done. Because while there are good reasons, a lot of good reasons why things are not done, still there are millions of options why things can be done. Karibu sana.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Evan Bona Samuel, a dental student, year 5, currently at Muimbili. My question is to Dr. Alois Ulasa, and it's about, he has given a very good speech, first of all, saying that we should find a mentor or someone who has been in the same ditch as you, but he has succeeded to move out of that ditch. But the problem which I'm currently facing is that, also other people here, is that to know exactly which kind of vision or path or should I take. I have different visions, so I'm having a difficulty in choosing the correct one. Just an example for me, I've attended a lot of summits or a lot of conferences. Whenever here environmental, I'm there, mental, I'm there. Yani like watu wananiuliza kwamba wewe jamaa mbona upo kila sehemu yani yani tukuelewi. So yeah, so that is something which it's a problem to me. I need to focus on one thing and I'm failing on choosing on one focus. Thank you. I think I've
Thank you so much for that good question. Actually, one of the things my mentor insisted to me was focus. Karibu sana, madam. Then that will be the last question. Straight to the question, Karibu.
Okay, thank you very much. And thank you so much for the presentation that you have made. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Genoveva Felix Nunguru, and my question is on the part of mentorship. Whenever I seek mentorship from a person, I usually get this difficult time of trying to make the relationship between me and my mentor not just seem like I only want what they have to offer in terms of professionalism. There is a certain conference that I attended that they were speaking about mentorship, and they said that whenever you face someone and ask for mentorship, do not just focus on what you want from them professionally. Like, do not seem like you're just there for the help that they can give you, but focus on building the relationship first between you and your mentor, so that you can be able to undergo the emotional turmoils and whatever things of a sort. So now the difficult part that I'm facing is, how do I ask for mentorship from a person without seeming like that is the only thing that I need from him, like the only thing that I need from my mentor is just what they have to offer for me in terms of what they can do. I think my question is clear.
Thank you so much, Ndunguru. One last question. Karibu. Ah. Okay, from this side. Karibu. Okay.
Thank you. I'm an advocate, so I was like
just
trying
1
to.
minute.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is CPN Aldis Komba, Assistant Executive Director for the Network of Young People Living with HIV in Tanzania, but also UC Steering Committee, Men Engage Africa, and IANASO also. But my key question was to Alois and Dr. Annabelle. I have seen us speaking in a way that we need to impress our mentees, to impress our mentors, the big fishes, just understand what we're doing so they can scale up us and just go to the higher profile and so wherever. But I'm keen to understand how strategical do we position ourselves to just get to the more younger age, to just be at your platform, like be Alois, be Dr. Annabelle, those who are at young age. For instance, in this room we have young people, young peer educators. Some of them they're in secondary schools, but they are happy to be here to just get connected with the students from higher learning institutions or whatever, to learn from them. But how do we strategically impact this kind of knowledge to them, to just go to have this kind, to implant this kind of vision into their heart that they grow up with, so that they get to represent over and over? Because I'm still seeing that we have a gap as the Tanzanians. We have been into different international conferences. You can't see Tanzanians. Only Kenyans, only Ugandans, only Nigerians, only South Africans, but we are nowhere to be seen. I was last time like asking people and so whatever, but how do we strategically implant this kind of vision that we have? Is tomorrow we have more Alois, tomorrow we have more Dr. Annabelle in the Commonwealth, in the whatever, the Global Fund, the PEFAT, the Global Revo, and then we are represented and our voice is heard, rather than only doing this at the national level and so whatever. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Seems like mentorship is really a big problem.
The young person is speaking is a speaker for Tanzania Summit in one of the forums. So I hope you'll be joining his session. Am I correct? Yes, okay. Karibu.
We were to this side?
Yes, this one. We wanted a lady. I'm gender sensitive. Okay, Karibu.
Thank you so much. My name is Abdul Karim Madam Kanga, a researcher from Ministry of Health Zanzibar. First of all, I just want to congratulate for the nice presentation and nice panel. I will go direct to the question. The first one will focus directly to...
Just one question, Abdul Karim.
Fine, let me choose one. This is direct to Madam Margaret, Dr. Margaret. Can you highlight the key opportunities for young profession in the field of research regarding to One Health approach? Because I see there is a One Health approach is a new thing in our health sector. So
thank you, Abdul Karim. Thank you. Our time is not enough. Abdul Karim is one of our winner for Youth Challenge for 2024. So ongera sana kwako, and I'm happy to see you. Makofi kwake tafadhali. We have almost each panel had a question, so allow me to give you a mic to respond to the question, and then in your responses you give just one last word to these young participants for your CAP program this year. Karibu sana. Tuanze na Margaret. Tuanze na this one, Dr. Ambrose. Karibu.
Thank you, Arnold. The question he raised is around vision and path to take. I don't know how old you are, but I don't think you should worry about whether you have a vision at your age. Because, and when Charles was presenting, branding is not about a path or about a career, but rather a personality. How do you define yourself? Are you honest? What's your integrity? How is your reputation? Then, as you said you are a fifth-year student, go through the career that you're following, find people within your circles, within your interests, and relate. Some asked about relationship. Build a professional relationship. Listen. Don't have one mentor, and listen. And your mind will keep filtering one by one where your passion ends up falling. Don't limit yourself. And when I meet somebody who says, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, that's normal. But can you focus? Can you look for opportunities? can look for ways of learning and relearning. And of course, like was mentioned by Dr. Jeremy, be a lifelong learner. Don't feel like I am contented with the information I have. Every day, feel like you want to learn, you want to explore, you want to engage, and you want to position yourself. So don't be in a hurry to look for a path. No. That's my opinion. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ambrose. Alois, you have a question.
All right, thank you very much. And maybe I could just briefly answer the question that was asked about how do we pass on the mantra to others to ensure that there are more young Tanzanians representing in the global platforms. As I just said, one of the very key things is being knowledgeable. I've had an opportunity of mentoring in one of the universities in Nigeria, moreover, one of the biggest universities at the University of Lagos and at the University of Jos, 2 universities. When I was speaking to the students there, first when they're called for a conference, the first event I did was virtual. The Zoom space was not enough. Like they were joining and exceeding the capacity. The same thing, TAMSA invited me to do something, I think it's 1 year ago, 2 years ago, to share just experiences with the youth. It was just the Google Meet. I don't think there are even 20 people in that room. That's the difference between us and Nigerians. They are aggressive at looking at opportunities. I started chairing the Alma Youth Advisory Council in 2021. And the former president of Kenya, Uhuru, was very supportive for youth. He said, I'm going to give a fund to establish Malaria Youth Army in the continent. We recruited over 3,000 people across the continent. About 50% was Nigerians. But I was posting all the links in my platforms and sharing with young people from Tanzania. But we only got 90 people from Tanzania. And they started shying away one after the other after seeing there is no money, there is no conferences or seminars. But Kenyans were only 200. In 1 year, there were 420 Kenyans running movements by using their own money within the universities. Today, it's one of the biggest and strongest youth. We have changed from army to corps, the strongest one. Nigeria had more than 800 young people. Everyone was trying to do their own thing at their local communities. I'm just arriving from New York, and we had Dangote in one of our platforms. And he said, I'm going to fund these young people. They are amazing. The Minister of Health said, I'm going to launch it as a national platform. And there came in Tony Elumelu and said, I'm going to fund whoever wants to do a tech startup from that platform. So you'll see our difference from them. So before we complain that people are not sharing, are we ready to take up the opportunities? Are we ready to be consistent? Are we ready to go through that path of suffering and trying out and failing and failing and failing in order to excel? So my last word is, let's not shy away from trying opportunities, no matter how long it will take us to be there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alois. Just, we had a discussion. I saw just the conversation on Twitter very few weeks in Tanzania. It was a training conversation that why Tanzanians are not aggressive in the international platforms, and a lot of ideas and theories and a lot of issues were arising from different people. But to make clear,
just to add one, he said about these national platforms. I think platforms like this are really important, and they're the ones which are really connecting us to key people. I was still referring to Dr. Wanga. When I met Dr. Wanga, it was my first inspiration to pursue something beyond what I was doing. I'm just trained as a laboratory scientist, but what I'm doing is totally out of laboratory sciences. When I met Wanga, you will remember that my first question was, how did you move from dentist to malaria communication? You know, it is totally far away things. So these are also good platforms to learn from each other and at least get that inspiration and know what to do and where to go in order to meet these opportunities. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And it connects with very senior people like Dr. Jeremy and Dr. Anas. I think if you go to the offices, it's not very easy. You just meet the secretary and tell you that the boss is busy. But here you can just connect. Hello, Dr. Jeremy. So it's just on this platform that you can get these senior people and just connect with them, network with them, learn from them. And actually, you can even learn from a person secretary. I have been learning writing from secretary, from Dr. Wanga. Secretary. And today I'm just writing in a lot of international journals as I have been introduced. I'm very passionate analytical writer, advocating for different matters, and more specifically passionate in maternal health. So I have been doing this. Secretary, I learned story writing from Dr. Wanga when he was writing very good stories when he was at Japaigo. Recently, I have not been seeing most of your stories, but your stories when you were at Japaigo were really inspiring. Dr. Margaret, then Annabelle, you give us your last word. Dr. Margaret, respond to your question, please.
Thank you. I remember the question was research opportunities for young people, right? Yeah. What I can say is opportunities are there. Opportunities are there. You just need to be strategic when grabbing those opportunities. Maybe my fellow young professional in this room, please let's take advantage of growing up in a digital age. Maybe before I briefly share my story becoming a researcher, maybe let me highlight these. I think they are key points. We are all we all have online presence, right? We all have online presence. Maybe it's X page or LinkedIn, and there are a lot of opportunities there. You asked about One Health research. There is this opportunity grants yearly. It's BOSET, One Health grant, given to early professions, early career professions. So it's like you must know exactly what to look for and where to look for. When we spend a lot of time online, instead of just socializing, let's make effective use of these digital platforms. But okay, maybe one last word. I want to emphasize that let's show up. Whenever the opportunities we get, let us use like we want to get that opportunities again. I remember when I was given a chance to work as research and training program officer at Indumada, that my current position. But I led a lot of research programs, and I'm now promoted to coordinate a major research program, which is MetaTribe, a research identifying low-cost intervention for delaying the development of diabetes in HIV patients. So when you get the opportunity, show your capabilities. Don't let down your mentors or the people that trust you with those great roles. Thank you.
Round of applause to Dr. Margaret. Actually, I wrote one of my stories from Yokabu to manager. It was one of my amazing story from Yokabu to youth capacity building program coordinator to manager. It has been one of the very transformative journey that when you get even a small opportunity, just a small opportunity, we were in the room and we were selected based on just of our active participation. Any opportunity that you get, no matter how small it is, make sure that you utilize it very effectively. One last word from Dr. Annabelle, then we will make a group photo and round of applause to all of the panelists. Karibu sana.
Making an opportunity quickly, Arnold, because Dr. Margaret was talking of One Health. I'm sorry. Tomorrow we have one of the conversations in the next room from 2:30 p.m. We'll be discussing about climate change and health, and one of the conversation is key areas of research on One Health, from policy to practice to community impact. So you are really welcome for that.
Round of applause to him. Yes, thank you the opportunity. Karibu, Dr. Hanabe.
Okay, I was asked about how to groom other youth to come into the same opportunities. I would say first thing is interest, but also I would say you have to know how to approach a mentor or an opportunity. So I would give an example. I won a Commonwealth scholarship, and that scholarship has like 10 essays. and someone approaches you and tells you, oh, I also want to study and whatnot, and you're like, you give tips, but also you say, okay, write your essay and send it to me. Believe me, some people never come back, but some people come back with their essays, and you give feedback to them. And I have had scenarios of people who don't change anything at all. They send you something close to the deadline, and they submit it as it is, then follow you an year later and tell you, oh, I didn't get it. And you're like, but I told you that there's something you need to change. And it's not only me, you'd find that this person had someone else who also gave the same feedback. So receive feedback. Like, honestly, people want to see you grow and go out there and win. So receive feedback and change. But also, one last highlight I would like to say, and I was told by Madam Prudence, the head of CARE International, and she said something so profound, and she said, your youth, don't change your phone number. So, you know, one thing seniors do is, oh, there's this opportunity. I know Alois, they call your phone. And if you're not available, trust me, this person, if it's Arnold, it's Dr. Chilo, he won't say, maybe he has changed his phone number. No, he'll say, oh, but there is Margaret, Dr. Margaret. Let me call Dr. Margaret. So we easily miss opportunities, because I have had friends who have changed 4 numbers within 2 years. And you come to wonder, if I were looking for you for an opportunity, how do I get you? So if you go out of the country and come back, try your level best to retain your number. Sadly, our communication companies don't have this thing that you can say, oh, that it can report that this person has traveled, she'll be back on this date. But really try your level best to retain your phone number. Thank you.
Asante sana. A round of applause to all of the panelists. This has been one of very amazing conversation, thought-provoking, and very engaging conversations. Thank you so much. Let's stand for a group photo. And in a very special way, I don't know if our board of directors members can join us. Dr. Anath, Dr. Jeremy, Dr. Wanga, Karibu, if you can join us for a photo. Moderator.
All right, thank you. So I am going to moderate the photo sessions, and please join the stage. Yeah, we are going to, we are done. And hands of applause to the amazing moderator and amazing speakers. Am I the only one ambaye nimeona lile swali la mentorship like halijawa covered vizuri, right? Yes, so tutawatafuta in person. Hopefully they're going to be around. Tutawatafuta in person. They can help us with their ideas. So there's going to be a photo for a panel discussion, and plus the board of directors and the facilitators that we had. And afterwards, I'll take part as well. Then we are going to split. We are going to have the coordinators. The coordinators of the Tanzania Health Summit did an amazing job. So wherever you are, the coordinators of the Tanzania Health Summit, Pili, and please hands of applause to these amazing people. Just to let you know, they didn't sleep yesterday. Wametoka hapa saa 10 asubuhi, wameenda kubadilisha saa 1 kamili wako hapa. Hebu tuwapigie makofi jamani. The coordination team wote, a lot wanafanya logistics za chakula. Yes, thank you so much. I think watakuwa as a representation. And for the rest of us, kwa sababu tuko wengi, we are going to split into groups. Tutaanza hapa, then hapa. Kwa hiyo wengine watasimama hapa chini, then the panel pamoja na board of directors watasogea hapa kwa mbele. All right? Understood, right? Jamani, cheese. Yeah, we said we are youth, so we have to act like youth. Just be vibrant. And nafasi ya upendeleo to the host. Say cheese. Thank you. So this part, can you all come here ili tupate picha ya pamoja? We should do it very quick, please. Very quick. Can we please kindly move up front a bit? Yes. Very quick, youth. Chap chap. Yes. Amazing. Yeah, you can join upstage Pia as well. Very quick, please. Amazing, amazing. Cameraman, tunaonekana wote? Sio picha zinatoka, wengine tumekatwa. Hiyo experience ni mbaya. Say cheese. Thank you. The next group, please. Samanini sana, najua mmechoka, lakini just 5 more minutes. Chap chap. Chap chap, please. Yeah, some of you can come up the stage. Nice. Wait. Amazing. This group here, chop, 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 chop. Chop, chop. Yeah. Chop, chop. Yes. Amazing. Say cheese. Thank you. All right. The last group, please. Chop, chop. Chop, chop. Yeah, some of you please join up the stage. Yes. Wow. Nice. Amazing. So, as tunaondoka hapo, with the DJ playing the song, at least dance kidogo, stretch, and we'll tell you what is next. Thank you so much for the amazing panel discussion. Thank you, Board of Directors, for having us. This was very insightful. It was really amazing. Personally, I wish like we had more time. But then, the schedule is tight. We know that we are expecting the
Thank you moderator jamani. Sijamshukuru moderator. Moderator Mariam Suve. I have been seeing you on BBC and everywhere in social media, so you are doing a very good job. And thank you, continue the good job. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. It feels nice to be recognized. It really feels nice. Thank you so much. And DJ, please naomba tuweke kamziki kadogo, then tutapata utaratibu of what is next. But as I was saying, we are expecting the President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Mheshimiwa Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, as our guest of honor, and this will be just after having our lunch break. Na ukiangalia tuko nje ya muda, so in 2 minutes tutatoa mwongozo on how to go for lunch break na maelezo mengine yatafuata. DJ personally, I'm so tempted kucheza. Yani kuna namna tu DJ jamani. Sema ndo hivyo nikianza kucheza hapa kazi iloni later. So we are going for the lunch break, but I thought like we should have another final dance. We should have another final dance. Do you want to dance? Au mechoka? We do one dance, then huku tunaenda kula kabisa, right? Amazing. So thank you so much for having me. My name is Mariam Surve. In my social medias, I use Mariam Surve. I wouldn't want to take another moment to say who I am, what I do. So you can just hit me up in DM if you have a work or an event that you need moderations. I'll be so happy to host your events. And by the way, I'm so proud of you all. Thank you so much for having us kuanzia mwanzo mpaka mwisho wa the YOCAB. And I'm looking forward. A lot of people were so engaging in our groups, WhatsApp groups. I hope and believe that that will be the energy we'll have still. So thank you so much. It was nice having you all. Thank you so much for your amazing energy. And is there anyone who has a coupon? A coupon. Everybody has it, right? Because if you don't have it, you're not going to have lunch. So if everyone has a coupon, we're going to make a final dance here. And where we took our lunch is where we took our break is exactly where we are going to have our lunch. So to anyone who doesn't have a coupon, you can check on Pili. She has plenty of them, but without further ado and without taking much of your time, thank you very much. Have a nice lunch. Please go with your stuff. Pack all of your belongings. You can go with them.